What's happening, everybody? 3 o'clock Eastern on a Wednesday. You know where to find us, right? Sweating out a 29.5-point spread between Team USA and South Sudan. Brad Thomas, Eric Lindquist, Eytan Shander, straight to the house. Producing, of course, OddsShopper meets GoldBoys. It's the gold standard. And fellas, before we can even talk about what we're doing, before we can even look at the live sweats, the graphic, the name, this thing's starting to come together.
Look, we're not the no-name guys or the three dudes who love each other. We have a graphic, we have a name, and we're winning bets. I want to listen before we get into this. I want to shout out Eric because that Randy Arozarena home run was
yeah,
everything that he said it would be, and I got a monster number on it. I was like, after his first at bat, I took over 1.5 total bases. First at bat, I think he got a double, and I was like, God dang, I'm only gonna hit one of the bets. Comes back later, I think it was like the 8th inning, hits the home run. Great call there.
Thank you so
Nice.
much, my dude. Yeah, it ended up being awesome for me, a little bit for Eytan. Felt pretty good about that one. Ended up getting all those slips in early. I was surprised that number kept climbing because everything set up really, really nicely. I was worried about pinch hit risk potentially for that last at bat when they were down 11. It was wild there, but he's just been so much better. And you look at some of the contact numbers. I felt pretty good and pretty confident about that one. I do have another one that I'm pretty confident about today. We're going to be going to the West Coast here. It's going to be the opposite coast, but we've got not meaningful baseball for anybody but us. Colorado, LA. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Real quick, we've got a situation brewing here. Castellanos at the plate, 1 out. Both Eric and I are cooked on our -1.5 Phillies ticket by all means. But if you want to have some fun, Garrett Stubbs' 4th plate appearance. Look at Eric's face. 18-1 to get a walk.
I cannot stand these at-bat plate appearance crap that you send me. No, I said no more.
It's witchcraft. I'm telling you, brother. Brad. I'm sending him sorcery. Like, it's insane. I got to send you the screenshots of this ticket and of the conversations between us where he is just like, stop sending me this shit. And then I keep sending it and it keeps hitting. And he's just like, dude, WTF, enough is enough. And it keeps sending and it keeps hitting. Like, what's lost in all of this is I'm destroying this god-awful shitty market that nobody should ever bet, Eric.
I hate it so much. It makes me nauseous.
Live sweat.
Stubbs in the hole. That's still like three people.
No. It's off the board now. I can't get it. Well, no, it's back on the board. It's back on the board.
I mean,
a lot of it had to do with
odds would astound you, Eytan. The actual odds would astound you.
Sosa right now. You know what? I'll put a little sprinkle just for you. Live sweats here. I know one, if not both of you, have something going on in Team America, right?
Yeah. The game start yet?
Should be soon. I just wrote 1,000 words in Philly voice today, just destroying Joel Embiid. But what do you guys have anything? I mean, talk about a waste of time. Do you guys have anything specific in this game? Because I don't think it's physically started yet. And if anybody's watching right now, okay, they did. All right,
6-2, United States.
Got it. Thumbs up if you're watching. Of course, subscribe on the GoldBoys YouTube channel, and then follow along on the OddsShopper Twitter account at OddsShopper. You should be following OddsShopper YouTube as well, but we're live on GoldBoys. All right, so what do you guys have in this game? I don't have anything specific in this game because I was waiting for Lindy to send me something, and he never did.
I went with Anthony Davis over 8.5 rebounds and Anthony Davis over 1.5 blocks starting in this game. I like the blocks the most, but rebounds was over 8.5. It was plus 120 and blocks was plus 105. I think with him thrusted into the starting lineup, there's no reason not to. And I actually think that he will get more playing time than a split with Joel Embiid, just because his playing time was limited. But I also think he's going to be more effective. Embiid has been pretty effective in the NBA because he's able to draw contact, but he struggles with the mid-range, which you need a good mid-range game in European basketball.
Yeah, man. Defensively, like, look at the difference, right? Blocks, we've seen that, just no presence defensively from a block shot standpoint versus what he's doing in the NBA. And there's no gelling outside of that game with Germany. There's no real gel where he led the team in assists. There's no gelling, right? Like, that's what I was sold on here which is he's going to play with Steph. He's going to play with LeBron. And then he's going to take that back to Tyrese Maxey and Paul George. And this shit's going to pop in Philly. And I'm like, I want to see that before I get excited about it. So understandably so there. I like the angle there. Lindy?
South Sudan's now up 7-6. So that was wild. A couple of things.
Play?
So yeah, I sent a couple of these over too to be able to talk through a little bit. LeBron James, less than 28.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. It's on a bunch of pick'em cards. I rotated it through a bunch of things. But if you'll take a look, prize picks today, there were a couple of free square or discounted square opportunities for these Olympics. And one of them that popped up quite a bit was this Kevin Durant 10.5 points that was a discounted taco. It ended up closing around 15. And I did a lot of middles. I did a lot of 4.5 is a pretty gigantic middle here. And if you feel good about some of the other squares that you have around it, some of the other plays that you have around it, you can kind of box in a pretty interesting number there. Kevin Durant still not in the starting lineup. He shot the ball out of the gym in the first game, but I mean, we're talking about a perfect middle type of opportunity here. 10.5 points. I want him to get more than that, but it's a range of outcomes thing. If he plays the typical 18, 20 minutes here, I think 11, 12 points, he's going to land on those the most out of any other number. I didn't like the more or anything that I was looking at when it was 12.5. There were a couple of other sites that had it discounted there where I'm like, that's about efficient, but a 10.5 on price picks and then 15 being the other point. Middling is such a difficult thing to talk about with certain people because, people just want to have winners. They just want to play one side of things. But if you can find these obvious box-in opportunities with free squares or discounted squares, it is so profitable if you're doing it the right way. And don't play all $25 that you can play on these slips in the full allotment there. Just break them up by 5 on each one. I've done that forever. I will continue to do it forever. And I don't think enough people post screenshots where they're actually doing it.
I miss prize picks.
Yeah. We never had it here.
Yeah.
At least you had it, man. We were born without it in PA, and you had a taste, which has got to be brutal.
It was a sad day when I had to cash out, and I was like, "Oh, I'm permanently cashing out."
Yeah. Wait a second. Garrett Stubbs hit by pitch. Fucking cash it, Lindy.
No way.
The streak continues.
No, I already got paid, yo.
Bang! Bang!
Yo, feel free to text me. Let's go. Holy crap. Oh my God.
When is it going to stop? I can't deal with this anymore. Somebody else.
I can't believe that happened, yo. I just look at my account and I go, oh, hallelujah.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, with that said, a reminder. This is what is the equivalent of this? Doing something so bad that's working out. Like you can't make an equation of hey man, you shouldn't be smoking meth anymore, and yet I'm doing it, and I'm keeping my teeth. That would never happen.
No, it's like the Queen of Hearts side bet in blackjack. When people do that crap, that's what this is. This is just ludicrous and
black magic.
Very obvious, that God hates me and that this is not real.
So I'm going to tell these guys. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell these guys off the air the cheat code, and then next week we'll get some thumbs up here. We'll get some subscriptions to both YouTube channels. We'll talk about some stuff, and then next week we'll reveal the cheat code here. All right, we've got 3 plays each. Straight's hooked up this awesome graphic. We might as well use it, fellas, right? So let's go around the horn here. Brad, you want to start? Number 1 play for you.
Yeah, I got to pull it up. I forgot what I sent over. Oh, yeah. First play, it's going to be tournament long. Corey Connors, top 10 in the Olympics. It's going to be at 3, starts at 3 a.m. It's plus 200. If you think about La Nacional, you want to think about the comp courses or the way you're going to play this course. It's going to be a lot of ball striking. It's going to be a lot of hitting fairways, then hitting greens in regulation. I like Corey Connors in that aspect because if you think about the comp courses, which I'm not going to go in depth on them, you could definitely check out my Twitter page where I'll put them up, or you can check out my Discord where I have them already listed out. But a lot of them are in Canada, right? Courses that are on the Canadian Open, courses that Connors has played well at. And one last thing on Connors, his putting has been, it's been night and day difference. That was probably his biggest knock, was like, since his last Masters run, his putter had gone hot, had gone cold. Now it's starting to get hot. I think in a 60-man field, getting 2-1 odds on this is pretty nice for Corey Connors to finish inside the top 10.
Like it, man. That number, Eric, is pretty good. 2-1. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised if that's still available.
I'm pulling this up here, and I think we got to join in on that.
I think we do.
He's one of the best iron players on planet Earth. He has been for a long time. But the around the green game, I mean, he's 8th amongst this field. I know it's a very small field, so don't go crazy. I mean, we've got a bunch of no-namers. We've got the Nakajimas, the CT Pans that Eytan Shander so affectionately bet this morning. I'm just throwing it out there. What are we
220-1. Watch out. 60-man field, no cut. Watch out.
I think I'm okay. But we're going to be looking at, we're going to be looking at that one for sure, because I really,
that's
really
a great
like
find.
that out. Yeah.
All right, brother, take it away. Your pick here.
I don't have any PGA here at the moment. I'm going to play a lot of DB.
That's fine. Whatever you have is good.
But
there are no rules for this.
We're going to the
baseball right?
streets. Can Lightning strike twice? I guess that's a Fleetwood Mac song. It's a Gypsy for those who care. But anyway, we've got the Los Angeles Angels, Colorado Rockies. I was pretty heavily invested in that one yesterday. I'm going to be pretty heavily invested in it yet again today. Davis Daniel, we've seen only 3 starts for him. We had one really, really good one against Detroit here, but these are favorable hitting conditions yet again here in a small ballpark. I don't think Anaheim gets enough love for how good of a ballpark it is because of how bad the lineup is on the Angels side day in, day out. But I think both sides are going to be pretty live for me in the prop market. But one that I bet immediately, plus 500, Logan O'Hoppe, going to probably be batting clean up the rest of the way here with Neto, Renifo, Ward, O'Hoppe, Pilar probably surrounding him in some capacity here. And the guy's just flat out good. He's one of the best hitting catchers in baseball. Gets to face a lefty here in Kyle Freeland. Good expected ISO numbers for Logan O'Hoppe here, going up against lefties over the course of the entire season. He's sitting with a 46% hard hit, 477 expected slugging. But one thing that I'll secretly throw out here, one of my favorite things to be looking at when it comes to trying to predict home runs that nobody else really, that I know really looks at, is just if they're improving contact numbers, looking at how much they're striking out. He's at 25.5% for a K rate over the course of this season. Kyle Freeland's at 17.9%, but Logan O'Hoppe, 22% over the last month, finding ways to get the ball in play a little bit more frequently. And when he does, it goes high and far, 13.4 degree average launch angle, 477 expected slugging. Hello, Logan O'Hoppe going yard for us, running the Randy Arozarena madness back.
Okay. Look, last time you gave a home run play out, it hit. So who are we to say otherwise, right?
The Last Dance guy.
Yeah, I'm going to tell, obviously. I want to ask you a question. Who's hitting a home run in Boston? Because the wind is going straight out again, 12 miles per hour.
It's an interesting one because George Kirby's kind of a painter. He does have the higher launch angle between him and Bayo. Bayo, 51% ground ball percentage makes me, some of these numbers on Seattle are just not making sense to me based on you have to still, especially, right-handed batters, you've got to be launching that baseball in the air. Part of what makes a lot of pitchers successful there, Green Monster, is just having people hit doubles that aren't home runs. It is a shorter porch than people think out to left over the Green Monster. There's pretty easy batting ball profiles to show that it's still way up for righty power, but you've got to get the ball in the air, and it's just really hard to do with Bayo. So I'm not looking at anything on the Seattle side. I did look at Yoshida and Devers. I thought Yoshida had some interesting numbers. He's been batting third here, DHing routinely here for Boston against righties, but the launch really isn't there for him. You do have pesky pull, but it is more difficult for some of the lefty power there against George Kirby. It feels as though if you absolutely had to, Dom Smith might be the guy at these kind of numbers that I'm looking at, but I'm probably not going to get there.
Yeah, I was looking pretty hard, and I also got a funny boost. Devers 1+ home run or 2+ RBIs at plus 225.
One or the other. Okay.
An interesting one. The nice thing is that he's batting cleanup. You have obvious protection to be able to get there. It's a 2+ RBIs, right?
Yeah, of course. It's that second RBI.
That's an auto bet. Right. That's an auto bet there.
Yeah. At 225, you said?
Yep.
So it's one or the other. So I mean,
Right,
obviously the
right,
home
right, right.
run, you're getting a decrease there, but like I think
Yeah.
the 2+ RBIs part of it with the hitting conditions with Duran, Abreu, Yoshida ahead of you, which are, guys that for all intents and purposes, I mean, Abreu doesn't really hit for average. I mean, 228 expected batting average. He's hitting 270 on the season. So I guess he has a good average, but my expected numbers are usually what I end up prioritizing. So I'm looking through that. I think Devers is a pretty darn good bet for that.
Cool. Thanks. Just
Cool.
locked them in.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Before we tell you what's going on here with GoldBoys and MGM, let me slide this in here. It's a simple one, I think, for me. And again, I bet it at MGM where you're going to take a slightly reduced hit as far as the payout because all ties will be paid in full. And I can't tell you how often when you're betting a top 10 first round, for example, that's saved me. And by all means, when you look at the chop at other books, FanDuel, for example, you're not getting anything near back, maybe even your entry fee, let alone it being paid in full. Here's the thing. I mean, you hinted and really talked briefly about it, Brad, is Le Golf National, right? Like I don't have a French accent, but this thing is designed to eliminate distance. So it's going to be about accuracy off the tee. It's going to be about ball striking. And I think familiarity, because if you do miss, you're dealing with thick rough, you're dealing with tree lined, thin, narrow fairways. I think just playing here and playing here well. We saw Fleetwood win on tour here at DP. We saw also the Ryder Cup where he performed well. Is there an argument against Tommy Fleetwood top 10, knowing that you can get him at a pretty decent number, all tied paid in full? Because I would look at that and say, all right, that would be my first one there.
Are you Are you Tommy Fleetwood? That's your first round, right? Top 10?
Correct. Top 10. So there it is. Tommy Fleetwood, top 10 first round plus 175. That pays out if 50 people are tied for 10.
No, don't hate it. When looking at looking at his stat profile, you try to see if there was any reason why he sucked at the Open. Like, was there anything kind of lingering? But his ball striking numbers were great. His approach numbers were great leading up to. His off the tee numbers were great. He just had a really bad week where he lost on approach. He lost ball striking, lost around the green, lost tee to green, and obviously with all that combined, lost total. But there's nothing that kind of said you could have seen that coming. So I like that play.
Okay.
Yeah, Tommy Fleetwood. I mean, you want to talk course history? The guy.
He won at this course, right?
Guy. 5-0 Ryder Cup. I mean, just him and Francesco Molinari ran a train on the USA, and not in a good way.
No, it did not look good there by any means. And what was it? The HNA Open that he won. So he's won here before too. And I just need him to compete on day one. And I think that's what top 10 ultimately translates for. All right. Again, we'll run it back here. Our second layer at Mr. Brad Thomas, at shanderbets, at Eric Lindquist. Before that, though, this is what's popping. This deal is still going on right now with GoldBoys and MGM. And you better jump on it before all of a sudden it's gone. The GoldBoys are one of the largest, well-known sports betting communities on the planet with a Discord to match. We're going to show you how easy it is to get 1 month free of GoldBoys.com just for signing up at BetMGM using code GoldBoys. Sign up at MGM with code GoldBoys, deposit a minimum of $10, and get your first bet back at BetMGM up to $1,500. After signing up at BetMGM, send a screenshot of you using code GoldBoys to promohelp@goldboys.com to get your first month free. 21 or older, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. site, and we were going through some futures and just looking at divisions. And I guess I missed this the first time around, or kind of just glossed over it in whatever state I was in. But I am interested. I am buying in on Cleveland over 8.5 wins this year in the NFL. And I think a lot of that has to do with the improved offense. We know there's continuity on defense. The coordinator really fixed up one of the bigger concerns, which is the splits, the road and away. That wasn't an issue by any means. It's another year for Deshaun Watson. Make all the massage jokes you want. I'm here for him. But the reality is that this now has, as long as they're healthy, and they're no longer, I think, solely, that's why you see Jerry Jeudy, like they're solely no longer relying on Nick Chubb to carry the load here. And I'll give you this. It's a small little thing, right? You never make a bet because of a backup quarterback by any means. But if there was ever somebody who could provide the proper backlighting to make Jameis Winston look like an angel, it would be this Browns defense. It would be like, all right, if you want to get 4 touchdowns because of your aggression and turn the ball over 3 times, we'll take care of you. Like, most defenses can't write that check. Again, that's not why I'm making this bet, but I think there's going to be a lot of cohesion and continuity, I think, that you're going to see with this team, to where it's not going to be a deal breaker by any means to add in a new talent. So I like them getting 9-10 wins. I think is fine. I think if you wanted to look at something that correlates, it's probably the Ravens not getting to their win total and knowing that this division's just going to be tough overall. But I saw that and I thought, you know what? I'm going to jump on this now.
Yeah. They get the NFC East too, I think, right? That helps a lot.
They get
the NFC East.
Bottom part of that division's shit.
Yeah, play Raiders. Whoa. That's pretty nice. Defense will always carry them there. I think they're top 5 DVOA defensive team. That helps a lot when you play against bad teams, right? Like, it's normally when you see those freak upsets, it's because the good team doesn't have a top 5 defense. It's because they are middle of the road, and then that freaky streak game happens where everything's clicking on the offense for the bad team, and then they get upset.
Yeah, I mean, I think the concern would be pass protection at this point. They're able to open up some holes for Nick Chubb. We've seen that in the past. So you get around that, I think you're in good shape. All right, we'll keep it moving. One more stage. Brad's got something to tell you coming up before we get out of here. But look, we've told you this. There's some crazy things going on here, right? I don't even know, like, how should we even explain this, Eric? Like, we should get people in now before they technically would be grandfathered in if they signed up now, right?
Yep, they definitely would be. Okay. You guys want to be checking that out. Yep.
Here's what I would say. You may not have the opportunity to jump in, be a part of the OddsShopper Discord, and get access like you are, for GoldBoys, for example, where you could tail JD, you could tail Ryan, you could tail Prop Father, you could tail Brad, of course, all under this roof. You may not be able to do that with OddsShopper. So you may have to pay for Eric and then be like, all right, here's a little sympathy shekel for Shander there. The reality is you can do that and avoid all of that right now. Get in on everything. Use code LIVE. 50% off. Code LIVE is your first purchase. Again, purchase could be week, could be month. You're going to get our tools. You're going to get all the cool things, the arbitrage tools, all the things that we have available, but you're going to get Eric. And that's, I think, the beauty of it, because people like the Lindy's, leans, and locks, and then they come in the Discord and they're like, holy shit, all right, this thing is for real. So we want you in 50% off now. Use code LIVE, and it's as easy as that. I tiptoed around as much as I could without giving away trades.
You crushed it. You crushed it. Now, I was waiting for it. I was like, we're good. Just trust me when I say, if you guys want to sign up right now. And if you use promo code Lindy when you do, 20% off in the process.
Yeah, I mean, I could even corner Brad here and virtually corner him, because he knows where I'm going with that. But we're such good friends, the three of us. That's not what we do here. So with that said, let's keep it moving by all means. Third round of plays. Again, you never know. I'm waiting for tier 2 Icelandic soccer to make an appearance here. We'll see. So far, that's a pretty beefy board on the gold standard, I must say.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad not giving out any soccer plays 2 shows in a row. It's been tough sledding, but not like betting wise, but like finding value, because the good teams are already up by like 4 goals in the first leg. So when you go to their second leg, there's no value to take the good team. And normally the bad team gets like a red card and they play down a man. I went with golf. I did a parlay here, top 20 parlay. And this was for me was a way to ISO Alex Noren. I took Alex Noren top 10, top 20 with Colin Morikawa top 20. It's even money if you parlay those on DraftKings. Noren is the kind of golfer who I feel like he doesn't get enough respect because he's not a bomber and he's old for golf since. Dude's been doing it forever, but he's a guy who's had a ton of great course history at this course, whether that be the Ryder Cup or whether that just be playing here overseas. But what's great about him in this course is, like we've said this again, time and time again, he hits a ton of fairways and only at 7,100 yards. It's not going to be like excessively long. It's not long by any standards, which keeps him in the game. And I think when you think about Noren's good course fits, it's something that is challenging and rewarding at the same time. So it challenges those guys who try to overpower it, and it rewards those guys who play it smart and play it in the middle of the fairway. And that's Alex Noren. And then Morikawa, the dude is just cleaning up top 20 finishes. I think that leg's like minus 700. Hasn't finished outside the top 20 since the week before the Masters, 2 weeks before the Masters. His game is in a crazy good spot. Even he fought tooth and nail with a really poor open. And then you go back and you look and there's no way he finished inside the top 20, right? Like the dude couldn't make a putt. I think he had a couple where he had one that fell in the bunker and then carded like an 8 or something. He clawed his way to a top 20 finish because that's just the kind of golfer he is. He likes to finish high and his game's in a good spot.
I think I'm going to be tailing that for sure because Alex Noren's my absolute boy, but I'm also going to be firing up Sepp Straka here. I'm working through all of my stuff here live. F it, we'll do it live. But I'm such a Sepp Straka guy. I'm seeing plus 1,000. Is there a better than plus 1,000 for him to medal?
I haven't seen that.
To medal, I can tell you in a sec.
All right, because plus 1,000 is the best that I've found here.
I had him first round leader in the column. I mean, I love this guy.
I had Sepp Straka first round top 10 on my board. Let me.
Okay.
Go ahead, E, though. It's your pick.
I mean, the guy has a 5th, 8th, 5th, 5th at the RBC Wells Fargo Charles Schwab Memorial this season. He had kind of a weird month there. U.S. Open, 56th. Travelers, 23rd. 61st at the John Deere, an event that he won last season and shot bajillion under, and then missed the cut at the Scottish Genesis. But no strokes gained, don't really care. The Open puts up 22nd there. I think that's respectable. We're going to be trimming the field down. It's still very top-heavy, but Sepp Straka is the kind of guy on this golf course that you just got to love. Top 10 in ball striking amongst this entire field. So number 8, I have amongst iron play from 150 to 200 yards, 175 to 200, ranking out top 5 for me. I mean, these are just elite type ball striking numbers with the irons on a golf course where that's going to be really what I want to emphasize. And so as I'm working through where I want to be putting some money here before midnight my time, when this thing kicks off, Sepp Straka to medal plus 1,000. Give me all of that you got in a bag of potato chips.
Yeah, man. I think the one thing I love about Straka here in just overall is that when you look at where he's been successful, it's courses that demand the exact same thing as this, which is just accuracy. It's pinpoint ball striking, and it's setting up scoring on the greens, on the bent grass. And we've seen that, like multiple top 5s this year on similar demands, of course. Yeah, man, you get him, I think it's 35 to 1 still first round leader. You'll appreciate this, E, because I had to write about it for, they only had the first round for pick 6, but his strokes were 70.5 for Straka. So I think you can make the argument that he comes right out of the gate as a fit here.
I'm taking a look here at the prize picks board.
He was also,
we're going to be Sepp Straka heavy.
Yeah, I like that. He was, I think it was 2000. That's off the top of my head, so don't quote me. 2021, top 5 first round lead, I believe it was. Played pretty well in that.
Yeah. Finished top 10, I think, right?
Yep.
Okay. Good stuff. Good start there. So was that your play, Sepp Straka live?
Sepp Straka, we're just firing it up to medal plus 1,000. I'm going to get on that here. If I can find a better number, I will. And so I'm not going to I'll post the ticket once I get it done there over on X.
I got to find to metal. I don't even see that here.
So we've got it on a place called schmoshmata.com.
Okay, well that's fine. I have no problem. Look.
There's a couple of other places. Again, I'm more than happy. I'll
bet it anywhere I can. You know, if that
anywhere
means
I
have
can.
to go down, absolutely. Let's do it. All right, last one for me. It's Clayton Kershaw's second start, right, of the season, and the Dodgers look a little wounded right now. Dylan Cease, ever heard of him? He's on the hill here for the Padres at home. -130 or better. I don't have a
You're telling me over 8.5 strikeouts, I'm going to lose my mind.
No, I'm just going to take the Padres to win this baseball game. That's as simple as that.
Okay, there we go. Thank God.
That's
okay.
It. That's it. I think you're going to get enough distance and gap with Cease to where you're not concerned handing the ball over. And I'm not looking at Cease to strike 10 guys out and keep the Dodgers off the scoreboard. I'm just looking at San Diego to outlast what's got to be a somewhat secondary lineup, right? So I think there's value in taking the Padres at home. Anything really less than 140 is fine with me.
That's much better. I was going to say I've seen enough just silly stuff with this 8.5 strikeouts thing on X today that
No. I'm not looking to go crazy here. My track record for sides and totals has been significantly better than forcing in player props. So I'm fine. We are
in opposite boats there, my friend. We are in opposite boats there.
Look at that though, by the way.
I've been so unlucky with player props this last 2 days. Like, man, Eovaldi, I get +145 on his pitching outs. Just needs 1 out and then lets 3 singles in consecutive order to not go through. That was probably the worst gross beat because he was only at like 78 pitches.
That's so bad.
And they had a taxed bullpen. Like the coach was giving him every chance. He's like, please don't make me pull you. Please don't make me pull you. But he just didn't have it. Oh man.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yucky.
Especially when you're looking at the pitch count.
Yeah.
All right, look at that board right there, by the way. That's a thing of beauty.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is
Honors
a beautiful
top
board
10.
right
Hop, Fleetwood, run it back, that whole thing. All right, we appreciate again you guys.
Hang on. Hold up. Before we get done, we got to all do a silly face so that I can do a screen capture of it and post it over on X. And then when everything hits, go back to the card. Go back to the card. It looks so good. It looks so good. I'm saying we're going to have it right here. All right, ready? Everybody do their thing. There we go. Beautiful.
All right. Well, let's erase
that later.
Let's erase that vision from people's minds right now and a reminder about what you can do to subscribe here to everything going on with GoldBoys.
Wait, before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the GoldBoys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the GoldBoys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks.
Three o'clock Eastern. Thanks as always to Straight for producing the show. You guys know the drill. If you're not following along already, at OddsShopper on Twitter, hit that thumbs up and subscribe here on the GoldBoys YouTube channel. That's Mr. Brad Thomas, Eric Lindquist, shanderbets, all three of us on Twitter. Anything else you guys want to get out? The Discord, Brad, pump it all.
Yeah, man. I don't even know what I have coming up. Just continue to pay attention to NBCSports.com where I have my betting series come out. I haven't released article 1. It's supposed to be out tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be 8 different articles, so guarantee there'll be at least 3 or 4 futures bets in there. Maybe 3. 4 might be
nice.
I don't have anything else to add. Just sign up for OddsShopper right now because it is going to behoove you to do so. Jump over to OS. Sign up, come kick it with us in the premium Discord. Eytan, myself, Isaiah, Nathan, everybody. we are grinding out here in the streets, multiple different avenues in order to get exposure, whether you're in a legal state, non-legal state. As long as you've got Pick'em, as long as you have access to a number of different books, we can make you a lot of money over there in that Discord.
So on the way out, you see this? Am I a bad dad if I set this up for my son?
I don't know what that is, but it terrifies
So
me.
you can pee on it?
Oh, for
It's
your
like,
son. Got it.
It's like
Good
a little,
boy.
yeah, like he could run through it. He's 3 years old, right? So he runs around out here, right? And he's got a hose and he fills up stuff. But I saw this at CVS on my way out, and I was like, would this, am I a bad, like, could somebody come over here and call child services that he's playing in a doggy pool?
Yes, they could.
Well, thanks for ruining my day. You and the Phillies. Awful. We'll see you.